Teapot. The Teapot is an exciting new show that is going to be bringing you all the hottest, the latest, and the trendiest news in lifestyle and entertainment.
Before we get into all the excitement of our first show, let's take in this amazing view of the Harare CBD at Joiner City. Isn't this breathtaking?
It's amazing, guys. We're on the 14th floor of Joiner City, and we want to say thank you to them for allowing us to have this amazing view.
So Coco, rumor has it that you had the opportunity to interview the masterminds behind one of Harare's popular spots. Tell us more.
I had the opportunity to interview the owners and the masterminds behind Pariah State, and they just told me what it was like to run a business or an entertainment business in this economy, and it was very inspirational and insightful, so enjoy. Thank you, Madam Zam, for joining me on the Teapot. I'm going to go straight into the questions and ask you, how did you come up with the name Pariah State?
Generic story. I think I'll let Matt take us through.
We went through a lot of iterations, and we wanted something that was catchy, and we also wanted something that was cheeky and memorable. And so we did this knowing that it would be controversial, it would definitely be conversational, and so we weren't quite sure how it was going to be reacted to. But I think when people came and saw what we'd done with the word and we'd reappropriated it, taking it from a negative to a positive, I think people immediately bought into it, and the lights went on for a lot of people.
And can you explain to me what Pariah State is about? When people come here, what experiences do they have, or what experiences do you have?
I think that's what you said, key is experience. You know, it's not a bar. What we sell here is we don't sell alcohol, we sell experience.
You sell
People
experience.
must come in and have what we term quality experience, and it can be different for different people at different times of the day, and that's why we have different programs throughout the day. But fundamentally, it has to have a common theme, and the common theme is celebrating the best of being African, the best of being Zimbabwean, and celebrating our identity.
And then, with that being said, the end result, this experience, what did it take for Pariah State to get to this place today?
Lots of money.
Okay.
Blood,
Okay.
sweat,
Okay.
and tears.
All right.
Yeah, it sort of just was a slow evolution to get it to this point. Neither Zam nor I are experienced pub owners. Zam's got experience in alcohol distribution and marketing. My background is all design, various disciplines of design. And really this sort of started off as a sort of, hey, wouldn't this be a great idea? It's in just a sort of position of conversation, and then sometimes as you start to think about things, they take on a life of their own. And before I knew it, I was driving a truck around town looking, going, oh, I should put a bar there, or stopping at places. And then I started having conversations with bar owners, and it sort of just evolved into like, I guess I'm not really thinking about this, it looks like I'm doing it. And by the time I knew I was doing it, I'd signed a lease on this place, which had its own peculiar story for me, and it was sort of almost like a spiritual home base in some ways for sort of parties. This used to be a restaurant when I was a very young kid back in the 1970s, and you'd go to a nightclub across the street, and from there you'd come here and sort of finish the evening off. So when I found this place, I was like, okay, I've come the full circle, and it's time for a brand new generation of people to have an experience here.
Great. All right, and you mentioned something about delivery. I know for a fact that when people come here, they're looking at the entertainment and the talent aspect. Now, how do you go about selecting who performs?
When we started, we even used to audition people.
Okay.
And even if you're famous or semi-famous in Zimbabwe, you had to audition. And now we've built up a pretty good roster of people who we like, but at the same time, we're always on the lookout for new talent.
Okay.
And one of the best things that we have here is the ability to showcase new people and new talents. And there's a lot of school programs that are going on. We've got all these various jazz bands and marimba bands, and we're seeing a lot of the graduates of those programs coming through. We've got 19, 20-year-old boys who come through and play phenomenally, but Pariah sort of started to build its style and the kind of music which we like, and the kind of music that people who come to Pariah appreciate as well.
As much as you can see, we've got tributes to some of the Zimbabwean greats that we did up on the wall, and you know, hopefully this bar's around in 30 years from now, some of the people who've played here will get their paintings up here as well, so we can kind of create a long-term legacy for music in Zimbabwe. But it's definitely about bringing something new. We also didn't mention Thursday nights we've got a St. Emo there with this team.
Okay.
They call themselves the Movement, and they're just constantly challenging themselves. And when I first started meeting those guys and they started playing here, the first time I heard them, I arrived a little late for their first set, and I got out the car, and there was this just African beat with this saxophone just pushing outside onto the street, and it just felt so vibrant, it felt so urban and so contemporary and alive, and I was just like, I love these guys already. I haven't even walked in the place yet. So I'm a big fan of those guys, and they've got a permanent residency here every Thursday. And like I say, I never know what they're doing next, and I like that about them. I have a trust with them, and they have a trust in me as well.
With that said, what sacrifices have you had to make?
The most obvious one is personal time
Okay.
and family time.
Okay.
I think we both got to understand the wives and kids and family, because unsociable hours.
Okay.
You know, some days you can be in here from 10 in the morning till 2 in the morning, going the following day, and it's hard. It really is hard, and that comes down to people. You've got a management team and partners who you can trust on and trust implicitly. That allows each of us the time to be able to say, you know what, I'm zoning out for a bit, or it's your day today, next day it's your day.
Okay, do you have any words of encouragement or advice for aspiring entrepreneurs out there in Zimbabwe?
You know, it's a tough environment, and there's just such a total lack of faith. A lot of what you've got to do is by conversation to research your market, just literally, just anecdotally, empirically, what's going on, am I seeing people in this area, do I believe it? And then it's, I think, not to overcommit yourself. You've got to always, to a certain sort of look and feel of something or a take on something, I think you've got to then have faith in what you're doing and the ability to adjust it as it needs to be changed.
I'd say, believe in yourself. You've got to back yourself, and along with backing yourself, you've got to give yourself time, because not every endeavor that you engage in is going to realize money straight away, and be prepared to fail. And failure sometimes is good as long as you understand the lesson, not take the experience with you constantly and think you're a failure. You're a failure at that. It doesn't mean that you're a failure in your entirety.
Thank you very much, Sam and Matt, for joining me on the Teapot. And here ends our first edition of our venue feature. Join me next time on our second edition of the Teapot. Till then, ciao.
Wow, that looks like fun, and definitely some useful management tips. Live music and great service is always appreciated.
You know what? It definitely was. But not only did I get to interview some amazing people, girl, I know you love fashion, you love reality shows, and I know you love these two people especially. So not only did you get to experience one of those, but all three of those this weekend. Tell us what that was about.
Definitely, Coco. Well, I got to interview Pokello and Elikem were in town at Pokello's Addicted to Shoes store at Longshan Mall. And they got to share with us a little bit more about the big day and fashion.
Hi guys, welcome to the Teapot. We're excited to have you as our first guest.
We're excited to be here.
So we have a lot of stuff we want to speak about, from the house to where you guys are now. So we're just gonna go way back to here when you guys first met. So Big Brother, you entered the game, and you probably didn't expect that things were gonna go the way that they did entering the house. But we want to know, when was the first moment that you were attracted to each other?
I think you should answer that question. Yeah. He was attracted to me before I was attracted to him.
You know, every Friday when after the arena games, the head of house swaps one housemate to the other, two housemates to the other, and bring two housemates from the other side. Yes, I was swapped by Sally, my country girl, who was in the Ruby house at the time where Pokello was, to the Ruby house. And yes, that's when I met Pokello. But like seeing any other attractive girl, I got talking and got to know each other. We just got closer, and we became more of best friends than anything else in the house. Because all we had eventually was each other, because we kept getting nominated. Just Pokello and Elikem over and over again.
In the beginning, I didn't like him too much. He was, the people in the Ruby house were very mature, very quiet, a bit reserved. When he came, he brought the noise.
All over the place.
And the moment Elikem came, they were gossip going on, all these he said, she said started. I'm like, this guy brings a lot of drama with him, you know?
Yeah.
But eventually when he did come to the Ruby house, and I started to actually see him up close, and he's tall and big and dark, and, you know, and he started dressing up to impress me.
Not to impress me. But I was a designer. I was supposed to showcase my attire, wasn't it?
I think a lot of the fans wanted to know when you had gone into the house, were you single or were you in a relationship?
I'm sure the fans know the truth of that question, but anyway, let's go through it again. I wasn't single.
Yes.
I was in a relationship.
Yeah.
And honestly,
Was it a full-blown relationship?
I was in a full-blown relationship.
Sorry I took your spot. I had to ask.
He's making it seem like, you know, there's something I haven't told.
Yeah.
No,
But anyway,
I
I was so adamant that I wasn't going to look for relationships in the house, not looking for love or anything. I was so focused on why exactly I was going into that house. So the possibility of me meeting someone was not even there. I completely dismissed it in all the auditions, and I was like, no, I already have love in abundance. I'm not saying I was completely content in the relationship that I had, but I was content enough to not want to go in the house and look for another relationship.
So when you got evicted and you publicly declared that you'd be waiting for it, right? At that point, what had you guys discussed it before that you were going to make that, or was it just that you knew when you left the belt that he was what you wanted, or what made you say that?
You know, the thing is, I wasn't being very open about my feelings for Elikem for a lot of reasons. I still wanted to play the game, and also knowing the situation back home and the media already on my case, I wasn't trying to give them that picture of, oh, look at her, she's already started, you know, while she has a man back home. So I kind of used to play down my emotions a lot. But Elikem, every time we were up for eviction, he would say, if I get evicted today and I go out on that stage, I'm going to tell them exactly what it is, that, you know, I'm going to be waiting for you. Or he would say stuff like, if I get evicted before you, when you get evicted, I'm going to be waiting with your lobola money and stuff like that.
For me, I knew what I was going for. I knew this is what I wanted, and so I kept pushing it in the house. And I kept telling my housemates that, you know, if I come out and she's still with her other man, that guy, it's fine. I mean, at least I tried, and you know, and if I come out and we're gonna kick something, or it's gonna be good, it's good.
Let's talk about how you guys started the designing process together. How did that happen?
I started Elikem Kumuji the tailor a good 2 years before the Big Brother Africa show. And one of my main reasons for going there was to make it a bigger brand, was to tell Africa, I'm this designer, and this is what I do, this is how I do it. My other half was Pokello already, and she was quite a fashionista herself, and was into shoes and whatnot. I, you know, made a couple of clothes for her, and took some pictures of it and flew it. And, you know, people loved it on her, and looked good on her automatically. I'm trying to make her the sole female model of all the clothes. And so every female attire you see on Pokello, unless maybe there's someone else who's ordered something who's wearing it, and I get a picture of it.
It's one thing to have creative ideas and not know how to then put them together or actually put it into a final look.
Yeah, so, like she can't sew.
I can't sew. And the thing is, I keep up with all the fashion trends. So I know what's trending, I know what's big this season. And I know I want a certain dress, but maybe that dress can't be made in a certain color or a certain size. So I know how to take that, make it my own, and give him the idea and have him put it together.
It seems halfway through the relationship and everything, media seemed to become more negative towards, not towards the brand, but with a lot of rumors that were speculating. In terms of how did you guys deal with the negativity that a lot of the media were reporting, and how did you deal with it?
A lot of what has been written about me is total lies. Like, I'll read something about me like, what? You know, so going on Big Brother show in Zimbabwe is a different side of me. And so that has helped me a lot. A lot of the stuff that they will write, the people now know who I am. So people are like, oh no, that's not true. And I think I've just found a way to say, if the media wants to write whatever they want to write, let them write it. But at the same time, I'm not trying to make myself accessible to the media anymore. There's certain journalists who can't even call my phone, who can't even get anything out of me because they know already that they have no access to me. Because I realize the media in Zimbabwe especially, well, even maybe in Ghana, it's more about tarnishing the person's image or, you know, getting ratings for your blog, whichever way, whether the story is
because
true or
bad
not,
publicity
it doesn't matter.
sells more than the regular, which is Elikem is in Zimbabwe again and he's having a fashion show. When you write something rather like Elikem murdered an ant and you know swallowed it and chewed, then it's bad publicity. Then people are gonna want to read and be like, this Elikem, is that what he's done again? And they sell their papers.
And the proposal?
To me, I thought it was going to be a bit more romantic, you know, to say it in front of the world that, you know, I love this woman and I want to marry her, rather than do it in a little restaurant in private. I kind of knew she didn't want that, but I was still, you know, trying to, at the end of the day, I'm sure she realized that if this man was able to go on his knees in front of the whole world, then he really loves me. So maybe my plan was put across.
So when is the wedding? Are you guys expecting to get married this year or is it next year?
Soon.
That's all we can say.
Very soon.
It hasn't been easy planning it. There's so much to work around, and you know, Ghana, Zimbabwe, fans,
Flights.
numbers. We can't agree on the number of bridesmaids and bridegrooms, but you know, we'll come to a compromise, and people can expect a beautiful celebrity wedding, Elikem style.
Very cute, small celebrity wedding.
Are you guys doing any traditional ceremonies?
We will definitely do a traditional.
And the Pokello is expensive.
I feel like 5 years from now, if I fight with him, he's going to remind me how much he
How much is paid?
Because I paid.
Well, thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for inviting us. It's been lovely.
And we wish you all the best. Thank you.
Wish you all the best with your online show.
Well, that looked like a very fashion-forward and stylish afternoon, Memes.
It definitely was, and they're quite a fun couple to be around, actually.
Yeah, we could actually see that. Well, we'd like to say thank you so much for joining us on our very first episode of the Teapot.
And thank you to Joiner City for having us for our first episode. We have this amazing view and such a fantastic mall.
Follow us and like us on our Facebook page, our Instagram, and our Twitter. Till next time, bye.
Bye.